Hello, everyone. It's me, Kirsten, and this is your podcast for the week ahead, the week of 8/8. We got the Lionsgate. We have the full moon in Aquarius. I mean, when people say August is going to be exciting, I think they're referring to this moment. The Lionsgate, let's think about this. Maybe you come at that numerologically, just 8/8 feels really good to you. Maybe you come at it astrologically. Oh, wow, the sun and Leo and Sirius meeting in the sky. Maybe you know the historical references, how the Nile would flood. And so it was this beautiful moment of coming back into your heart, coming back into your power. But however you come at it from a mystical lens, it always speaks to a moment of power. So like 8/8 is consistent across time and space. Like so many of the rhythms of the year are consistent across belief systems, across perspectives. So what does it mean that 8/8 is significant? Why does it hold such energy? You can research that. You can have your perspective on that, but just feel it for a second. Like just pause and feel that for a second. 8/8. Just notice the infinity symbol, the double infinity symbol. Notice how that's reminiscent of DNA or the helix. It's reminiscent of as above, so below. It's reminiscent of the conversation between the spiritual and the material that's happening all of the time. And the 8 energy is always going to speak to us about manifestation. It's always going to say to us, what can you do here in the world with the energy you hold? So it's saying to you, take your feelings, your ideas, your energy, your beautiful essence, and make it something real, like bring it into form in a way that only you can. And so the 8/8, you don't need to do anything. I'm going to say it one more time. Whoever you're listening to, whoever you're working with, whoever you're being guided by right now, make sure your body feels good about that guidance. They can say so many things, and your body can be having a very different reaction to the song they're singing, to the energetic resonance. Trust the resonance over the words every day, but especially right now. So in any case, there can be this pressure to, oh my God, the Lionsgate, and I have to make sure I get it while the getting's good. That's not really what the Lionsgate is about. The Lionsgate is actually a culmination moment. It's a bright moment. It's a stepping towards what you know you want and believing you deserve it. Believing in your heart center, believing in your light, believing in your own courage, believing in your own leadership to be the one you've been waiting for. So when the 8/8 comes around, it's less about, I'm going to make this thing happen. And it's more, it's going to be revealed to me what is happening. It's going to be revealed to me what I am in alignment around. You might want to go back and look at your New Year's resolutions or what you were thinking about in the beginning of the year and see what has taken shape and the ways that that might surprise you and the ways that that might be really satisfying because it's perfectly in line, and the ways that that might have adjusted and how that might be interesting too. What you thought you wanted and then what arrived and where you find yourself today in terms of, yeah, your heart satisfaction, living a life that honors who you are, living a life that honors the light you are. I hope you really believe that. I hope you really believe in who you are and how worthy that is. It's an endless walk home, an endless path, but the movement matters. And this affirming to yourself that you are valuable just because you're here. Like, because you're here. It is a miracle. I sound like a crazy pastor, but it is a miracle that you are here. And I hope that there's some part of you opening more fully to that idea and feeling more, yeah, like cool, like cool, I get to be here, cool, I get to live this life, and I have so much power in it. And then the full moon in Aquarius, I don't know what's going on, you guys. I am not an astrologer, but the astrologers are saying crazy things. I'm minding my business and just kind of curious about what might open up or what might be revealed in this weekend ahead. You know me, I don't normally have hesitation about this stuff, but this full moon in Aquarius energy, everyone's talking about like the second coming. So I don't know. Maybe metabolize that in a way that feels good to you, or maybe even set a field around you that only allows in what's going to feel like nourishing, inspiring, helpful for you, and not allowing yourself to journey in a space where it might drum up fear or anxiety like it seems to be doing for me. But the Aquarius full moon is supposed to be a big deal. It's supposed to be an important moment. I heard someone speaking about how it connects back to some alignment that happened in December of 2020. So just think about where you were in December of 2020, what was on your heart, and then the way that maybe life has unfolded unexpectedly or just the way you imagined, just the way you hoped for. I was speaking with my aunt this past weekend, and we've had so much loss in our family since 2020, since actually 2018, 2019. It's wild. My family is like a core part of my life, my extended family. I'm very blessed that way. And the shape of my family has completely altered since 2019, 2020. I also was at this event on Saturday and I was meeting people I didn't know. And I spoke to 3 different people who all brought up their COVID stories to me, their quarantine stories to me. And it's just so amazing how that dial turned and nothing's been the same since. Like it really opened up whole new timelines. I know it's an overused phrase, but whole new timelines in the world and in people's individual lives, and obviously collectively where we're headed. But there is a connection back to December of 2020 with this Aquarius full moon. So you might want to notice what's there, the resolution or the closing of that chapter. So whatever opened up in December, it kind of reaching its fullness with this full moon. In terms of the week ahead, I pulled 3 cards for us because I just wanted to. And my intention for the cards was, if this is such a potent week, what do we need to know? What's the opportunity for us in this week ahead? And I mean, you can think that tarot is sweet. You can think that astrology is kooky and adorable. But there are energies and truths in the world. There are songs being sung by the earth, by the universe, by other people, by the collective unconscious. And all that this stuff does is help you hold on to the chords so that you can better hear it, so that you can better understand it. And so tell me that when I pull cards about the Lionsgate, that the bottom of the deck is the Strength card and the center card is the Sun card. Tell me tarot is not connected to something. Tell me of these 78 cards, for those to be 2 of the cards that come out, that there's not something happening here. And I guess we probably believe that together since we're doing this podcast together. But that's just interesting. This card is the card of Leo. It's the card of your bright, beautiful self. Like, thank you for being here. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. And thank you for being able to enjoy life. Thanks for blessing us with your light. Like, thanks for coming, dude. Thanks for coming. We're so lucky you've come here. And this is the card of feeling good. If we have to point to a card that represents joy in the tarot, it's the Sun card. If we have to represent a card that talks about how lovely life is, it's the Sun card. And I put that Mary Oliver poem on my Instagram the other day. I know you've heard it before, but it's worth remembering. Joy is not made for crumbs. Joy is so precious, and it is the kind of thing that you can expand into. And that whole poem is, if you have the opportunity for joy, ride that all the way home, baby. Like, open and expand into that as widely as possible. Isn't it interesting how we keep ourselves from joy? I talk about this all the time. Gay Hendricks, my guy, he always talks about this idea that we will cut ourselves off from joy, happiness, excitement, pleasure before it gets cut off for us. So we learn at some point in our journey, in our childhood, that if I let something feel really good, if I just totally enjoy this thing, I'm going to lose it. And guess what? You are. That's one of the great bummers of life, is that everything you love, you will lose. Everything you love, you will lose. That speaks to the finite nature. That speaks to the material. And so the work is not to grip it tightly and hope it never goes away. It's to soften and expand into it, into the moment, into the connection, into the joy as widely as possible, and really appreciate the miraculous preciousness of it, of this day, of the trees, of your body, of the people you love, to be with it as fully as possible and to release the need to keep it. Goes back to that conversation. Love and freedom, dude, they're 2 wild horses running in the world together. If we have love, we need freedom. And if we really find freedom, we find love. They are companions on the journey. And so any idea that we need to clamp down on it or hold it tight or keep it is actually not of love. That's not what love wants from us. That's not what love wants from the world. And so the Sun card is the reminder that joy is fleeting, it is precious. We are so lucky to be here. We are so lucky you're here. And how much can we fully enjoy that? So in terms of the Lionsgate, the 3 cards I pulled for us were the 3 of Pentacles, the Sun, and the 8 of Wands. Again, taking the sun as the center card, which thank you, Tarot, for offering that to us. It says to you that this week, this Lionsgate, let it feel good, dude. Wherever you are, whatever is present in your life, can you, before you move into action, before you move into understanding, before you move into narrating it or making sense of it, can you just first enjoy it? Like, can you first enjoy it? I ride my bike a lot, like to town and back, and I always have an AirPod and I always have music in, and my AirPods died the other day. And I was just riding my bike. And am I the only one who sometimes you're riding your bike and like it's really fun to ride a bike? It's really fun to move that way. That's the sun card. It doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't have to lead to anything. You don't have to be able to explain it to anyone. It's just a sense of this feels good and it's precious and it won't last forever. And so can I be in it? Can I be more fully in it? Can I expand more fully into it? That's the invitation for the Lionsgate for you, not to force manifestation, not to somehow overwork an alignment. It's to allow the alignment that already exists to exist more fully. It's to enjoy it a little more fully. The Three of Pentacles, let me see if I can do this. I always have a hard time with the camera, like if I'm doing it in the right order. Okay. So Three of Pentacles comes first, then the Sun, then the Eight of Wands. Three of Pentacles is the card of work, the card of collaboration. It's this idea that we all actually do come here with a very specific medicine, a specific skill. And one of the most satisfying things you can do in the world is find people whose medicine, whose skills, whose perspectives harmonize with yours, and then you create things together. So this is the card of creating something new based on the alchemy, the magic of us being in space together. One of the reasons I love human design as a system, and all systems are imperfect, but one of the things I love about human design is the idea that you can have channels that are half formed. So there's the gates in your body and then there's these channels. And you can have channels that are half formed. And when you are connected with someone who also has either that channel open or that channel half formed, you can actually activate new energies in each other. So by being in space together, by being in shared space together or having a shared goal together, having the right energy near you can activate and open potentials in you that you can't activate alone, or that it's difficult to activate alone, or there's more of an efforting required. And similarly, you can work with people who detract from your energy, who close down or constrict your energy centers, your energy flow. That's important. That's one of the things that we miss out on with a lot of other thought systems, is this idea that we activate and amplify each other's energy, and at the same time we can also constrict and distract each other's energy. It's so important. That's a long way around saying it's so important who you surround yourself with, who you work with, who you allow into your space. You want to realize that people have a very actual impact on your energy, on your potential, on what's possible for you. So you want to remember that you can just as easily choose someone who will shrink your energy, who will drain your energy, as you can choose someone who will amplify and uplift and expand what's possible for you. This is the card of expanding what's possible for you. So this is the card of communities, groups, work that allows you to be exactly who you are, honors who you are for that essence, that natural ability, and then hopefully amplifies and expands what you can do in space. And you can think about this, a friend or a colleague or a lover who, when you're with them, you feel like an elevated, bigger, more optimistic version of yourself. And you can also feel when that's not the case. The idea here is choose your companions wisely. Aquarius is the sign of groups, of community. And so on the full moon, maybe thinking about that 2020 energy, what is your community like? Where are you now in terms of who you surround yourself with? Does it feel good? Do you want more? Like, what are you aching for in terms of community, in terms of finding your people? It's such a valid wish. You might wish for work or money or love or peace, but we also might wish for community, especially right now, like in real life community that allows me to become more myself versus restricts me or constricts me or makes me wear old masks, old armors that just don't fit anymore. That's the conversation we've been having more broadly over the past couple of months. And then the Eight of Wands is the card of communication. It's the card of an arrow being launched. It's the card of orgasm. It's the card of something is building and then it is released. And there's a huge energetic charge behind it. It also has its own momentum, its own like agenda almost with the Eight of Wands. If you start at the beginning of the year and you kind of think about what you wished for, what your hopes were for this year, and then noticing in the 8th month in August, how is that going? How is that unfolding? What does that actually look like? And the Eight of Wands is, I have an idea, a wish, a desire, and I launch it. And then the wind comes and the weather comes and the gravity comes and all these forces begin to exert themselves on my clarity, on my wish, on my desire. And it then impacts where it goes, how it shows up, where it lands, what impact it has. The Eight of Wands is really the energy of an idea or desire being launched, and then as the world kind of co-creating with it. So it's out of your hands. This is a moment to allow your hens to come home to roost, or allow your manifestations, like see how they're showing up, how they're forming, like how they're unfolding and becoming in the world. So the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands speaks about your work, but also because of the way that it's positioned, it speaks about you've done the work. You've kind of wished for or clarified or created space for some kind of community, some kind of collaboration, some kind of connection. Your job right now is to realize your worth in that. So really remember that as much as you might want others in your space, you also are a gift to the space. Your radiance, your light, your clarity, your warmth, your joy is such a gift to the world. And so that's stay here. And then watch how the world is impacted by that and what the world makes with that. This energy together really says to me, you've done the work and things are coming into shape. And so now your job is to stay here. And do I always say that? But your job is to stay here. Your job is to stay here with your warmth and your light and your value, and to let it feel as good as it can, knowing that that's a kind of wind, like that's a kind of weather that wraps itself around your intentions, around your desires, and changes them. It has an impact. So your stillness, your focus, your warmth, even as you just exist in it, your joy, as you just expand into it, has a very powerful impact on the world. Don't underestimate your light. Don't underestimate the way it's seeping into the root system, changing the air around you, changing the air in your communities, and changing things. And so the 8-8 week is enjoying watching that process. I hope maybe at some point this week you look around and you say, this feels good. This is a community or a space or an environment or a moment where I am proud of what I've done. I feel good here. I feel free here. I feel open here. And I hope, I don't know, it feels like a little bit of a reward. It feels like a rewarding for that, a rewarding of the efforts you've made, a rewarding of the ways you've let yourself be seen for who you really are, and the way you've worked from that place. What have you created from that place? There's something about that that's going to feel really good this week, and that you're going to see that that has a momentum to it. And it's like you launch it, the world makes magic with it, and then it lands. We're watching the magic getting made, if that makes sense. It hasn't quite landed yet. So that's your Lionsgate Aquarius Full Moon weekly reading. Protect your light and energy this week. Become very aware of the communities that feed that appreciate that applaud that, and that expand that, and the communities that kind of detract from that. And again, always, 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 there's this reminder these past couple of years to trust your body's reaction to space, words, people, at least as much as you trust the discussion around it. So like the words, the ideas, what should be is one thing, and then how it actually is another. And I really want you to keep a root down there. Keep yourself rooted into that. Okay, so that sounds good, or I can understand that, but But here is where there's another kind of truth operating. And if I have to choose between them, I want to choose this truth. I want to trust the way my body, my nervous system, and my heart are reacting to this space. Is this a space, an environment, a conversation, a relationship that allows me to be a bigger, more joyful, more hope-filled version of myself? Or is this a space where I get smaller? It's so important to notice that. Take good care this weekend. I don't know what this Aquarius moon is, what's going on. I'll keep posted. If anything wild happens, I'll promise to let you know. I'm going to a concert on Friday night with some old friends. I hope that's nice. I hope it's peaceful. I'm here for the peaceful Aquarius full moon. I also will just say to you, don't get carried away by the rituals, the manifestations, the work asked of you on social media regarding Lionsgate and regarding the full moon. Maybe just observe it. Maybe just be curious about it. We don't always have to get something from the energies. We don't always have to turn it into a capitalist endeavor. Sometimes we can just experience the world and be with it and be curious about it and, soften into what is versus having to get something from the whole thing. So much love to you, and, may the force be with you. Bye.